Good evening and welcome to Barbers Arms episode 27. Me and Gaz in the arms again tonight. We've got an international feel about the episode 27. 8 o'clock, me and Gaz are going to go through the news desk and see what's happening in your areas and around the UK and the British Isles, see what's happening and internationally. 8:15, we have our international guest on. Joining us from Amsterdam, we have Marc van der Haar from the Van der Haar and the inventor and creator of BarberSociety. 8:45, we've got Gaz's cocktail coming up, which is a chop. He's going to tell you a little bit about that later. And we've also got our local hero, which is Kate McQuillan from Scotland, Divit Barbers. That's all coming up tonight on episode 27 of Barbers Arms. But first of all, introduce my co-host, Mr. Gary Machin.
Good evening and welcome. How are you, mate? You had a good week?
Yeah, good. Very good. We're all set.
We've had a nice steady week. We've we reach out first of all, commiserations to everybody out there in Northern Ireland and around the UK, especially Liverpool as well, that have gone on to the very high tier, should I say, of lockdown. So that's terrible situation and terrible news there. Hopefully we're going to have our friend Gary and Mary on next week and give us an actual look at what's going on next week in Northern Ireland. But this week we've had a steady week. I've had a funny week, really. I've had not too busy, not too stressful, but I think last week's show was a great show, 82,500 views. I think it's up to now. So we had Ruffians on, fantastic barbershop chain. I really enjoyed speaking to the guys there. I mean, what do you think about the guys that the Ruffians set up as well? I mean, I thought he was another level. I thought he was a really nice fella as well.
It is another level. It's not much as, for me, it's not like a barbershop going into Ruffians. It's more like a business. It's like an hotel chain. The training, the customer service levels are at a different level to just cutting hair. And it shows, and having Andrew on last week, from his marketing background, really showed how the things, just laughing at that comment that come up tonight, Gaz is going to have a skinful. We'll talk a little bit about Gaz's week this week as well, with the skinful and the chop as well later when we come on to the cocktail. Congratulations to everybody. Final day today of the Wahl British Barber of the Year was the closing day today. So we've had more entries this year than any other year, being fantastic to be fair. They're going to be judged on Wednesday, and we get that down to a final 6. And then Gaz, you're helping to judge the final 6, but they're going to submit the final 6 after the 45-minute video. And I just want to say to everybody that's listening tonight as well, is that, if you get to that final 6, that's a massive achievement with how many entries we've had. And I think a lot of people who went to that competition kind of are not scared, but it's like kind of a big one to win. So I think there's lots of people out there that probably don't enter as well. And my view is always enter. If you don't, don't sit there thinking, oh, I'm not going to get anywhere. Just enter anyway. So look, if you get to the final 6, which will be announced next Friday, I think the final 6 are announced, then it's fantastic. And it's also the last final day today for the Wahl British Barbershop of the Year. Ruffians from last week as well, but from last year, they won it 2 years on trot. So we'll see the next 4 or 5 weeks up to the 16th of November. We'll see different things happening on the Wahl Instagram accounts for the Barbershop and the Wahl British Barber of the Year. I'm really excited about that. And Gaz, just before we start the weekly news about what's happening, I wanted to say something to, when you want to do a shout out to people, and you'll say it sometimes, Wahl in the community, you'll say, you all know who you are. Have you ever had that comment when I'm thinking about you all know who you are? I sometimes don't think that's good enough. So today, I really thought about it today, and I want to start off with this. I want to mention every single person that I work with that have worked all the way through this pandemic. They've served the country with clippers. They've worked tirelessly, fantastically well. And I know that most of them are watching, and I know at Wahl they all watch. So I want to mention you all. Here we go. Tony Hewitt, Martin Lindridge, Greg Hines, Paul O'Reilly, Anthony Laker, Ben Lewis, Adam Borg, James Meehan, Demi Wills, Shane Jenners, Piers Gummel, Angela Jane, Mark Camber, George Gillingham, Phil Webber, Megan Tong, Katie Tong, Rob Smith, Zach Marshall, Rosie Rote, Danish Balakoff, Kevin Hunt, Roman Shellant, John Laker, Justin Hatfield, Anne Shaw Case, Chelsea Stevens, Steve Gower, Tia O'Leary, Sam Brooks, Angela Pertak, DCA Pritchard, Aaron Williams, Dave Goodman RMD, and Matt Smith. I salute you all. You have been in every single day through whatever we've gone through, and you've managed to make sure that that place is safe. It's been fantastic for you to do what you've done, and for all the salespeople who work sometimes in but are working from home, we all appreciate what you've done every single day. So I salute you all. Thank you very much. I'm proud to be part of the Wahl, and that's why I'm wearing my new Wahl in the community top tonight. I love you all. Keep watching Barber's Arms.
And just on that, you will all be receiving a lovely bottle of something from Simon. It'll be in the post because he loves you so much. So expect that very soon, guys, because I know he was going to do. He wasn't going to bring that up, but I know he's going to do it for you anyway. Yeah,
I've ordered. I think we've got 48 bottles of milk here, so I'm going to send them out as soon as I can. They're going to come out to use as soon as I've got them straws in that you can have a milkshake through it. But guys, I just want to touch on, you touched on it earlier, Northern Ireland, Gary and Mary and everybody else in Northern Ireland. I know they've been a massive supporter of this show. I know it's not just them in Northern Ireland, but we are a big family. And our thoughts go out to all you and your family who are struggling again through this time. Just keep the faith, guys. I'm hoping the government are helping you out and looking after you, but you got to keep the faith. And you know, it just shows you what can happen. We all were scared of this second phase kicking in, and it's here. I did say it all end in tears.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I mean, the thing with it all is, I think it's because we haven't got it all together, and you know, it's not happening. And I think it's the right thing. I think we shouldn't be it shouldn't be a blanket situation, but I think it's got to be done right. But you know, Northern Ireland are going to be the first ones to go through this, and from 6 o'clock tonight, I think everything's been closed down, so it goes out to us. But we will come back to that as well later on in the show, and hopefully we're going to have Gary on next week to give us his take on what's going on and how it's been handled. So hopefully with a weekend, he'll have a better handle on that. Can I just say thank you very much to Barber Evo and David and all the team as well. We did a little piece for them, didn't we, on Monday night? I think that went very well. We got between 4,000 and 5,000 views on that. Really enjoyed that. David's a great host, and we've done things with him before. They really supported the Barbers Arms, so thank you very much, Barber Evo, for that, and the team. We much appreciated.
Yeah, it's good. I love his candour. I love his interviewing techniques. He lets us talk. It was nice for us to both be on together. I think Trevor was saying as well, it's the quickest of the Barber Evo interviews through lockdown. It's the quickest to get to 5,000 views, and that just shows the power of Barber Arms. All you guys that listen and watch me and Gaz every week, like Gaz says, another 82,000 have watched us from last week. The figures keep growing. We're over 4 million views so far, so keep sharing, keep watching. Couple of things just to remind you as well. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Simon Shaw Wahl. Gaz at the British Barber, Barbers_arms as well. They're all our Instagram accounts. You can also, on our website, we've got the barbersarms.co.uk. And if you want to email us, it's barbersarms@britishbarber.com. We've got our virtual trade show as well coming up. Today I had a meeting with Trevor and some of the guys at Wahl, and we had a look round the exhibition, the virtual exhibition, and it was absolutely unbelievable. It's the best one I've seen. I've seen a few exhibitions being done now through lockdown and through these weird times, and this has got something different about it. Guys, you can register for this. We've already had nearly 500 people register. You just click the registration button as well. You can click into the virtual trade show and register. There you can see there 450 people have already joined up, and this doesn't go out till the 29th and the 30th of November. Some super stands are going to be there doing exhibition work. Wahl are going to be there with some of our artistic team, selling some good products and also some education. I know Gaz is going to be leading the BBA artistic team and doing some stuff there. And we've got some great international people coming in. We've got the Mataki scissor brand. We've got, I can't say too much, but in the next couple of weeks, you're going to start seeing lots of brands joining into this virtual show. So I'm really looking forward to that. So get registered, guys, for our virtual trade show on the 29th and 30th of November.
What you just said, there is a few out there. I don't think there's been many before us, but the odd one that has tried to do it, I don't know how successful they've been, but they haven't looked great. But I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is another first for the Barbers Arms. I think it's going to be a great event. Loads of education on there. And don't forget, you can revisit the education that we've done earlier, which is the 24-hour event and the UK event with the Wahl on and the BBA team. So lots to look at, lots to look forward to. Can I just say some thank yous now this morning, this afternoon, tonight. We've just had our results from our EPAs for all our apprentices at RB Training and Rogers Barbershops, and we have got 100% distinctions again. So we have, since we started 5 years ago on the new EPA training system, the Hair Professional, we've got a full house now. We've got distinction across the board. We haven't dropped one, so it's all to do. Great to the guys, all the mentors, all the teaching staff, Richie Allen, Rachel, myself. Wish you all the best, lads. Start of your career. Obviously, they come off their training status now and they've gone onto the floor. So fantastic. A couple of guys who really, really need a deserving mention are Ben Lunt and the guy who I work with, Ashley Thomas. He's doing great. So he's back on the floor now, and congratulations. So all those apprentices that have started, you've picked a great career, and hopefully you'll go on to better and bigger things. So we've got Marc van der Hare on tonight. So we've got a Dutch flavour tonight, Mr. Shaw. So what do you know about?
Well, I've known Marc for a few years. In fact, I think I went out to the first BarberSociety in Holland, and a great weekend. But if you've ever been to a show in Holland, they never get a brewery to sponsor it. And I was in there, and it was not loads of stands, but first one that were there. Nice education. I always think the Dutch are nice and relaxed. It was a nice summer's day, and I kept going up, and the drinks were served almost like in these drinks. And the guy kept saying, "Do you want a big one or a small one?" But they're all full with massive froth, but the bastards don't know how to serve drink. So, do you want the strong one or the weaker one? Well, I like a Stella, or I like a stronger beer. Oh my gosh, I got absolutely slaughtered. I had an hangover about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But he's a great guy. We went out for a meal that night, him and his wife. I think his wife might be joining him tonight. She speaks perfect English, so does Marc. They've got a great business, Van der Hare, in Amsterdam. He's got a few stories to tell us about what's happening over there as well in Amsterdam at the minute. There's some lockdowns already put in there. There's lots of businesses closing down. So it'd be interesting to find out the kind of side what's happening over in Holland, because they're so close to us as well. Such great neighbours, the Dutch, and I think they've with the Scoring boys as well over there, and things that Marc's done with BarberSociety. I think they've added to the barbering culture over the last 10 years, the Dutch, and I think they've got some great barbers over there. It's great to get him on the show. We've got some great guests coming up next week. I just want to tell you, I'm very excited. We'll come to the back of the show. But one of my presenters, and he's a legend in his own brand anyway. But next week, guys, we've got Alan Beak joining us on Barbers Arms. So Alan will be in the house next Friday night. I spoke to Alan last week. Can't wait to get on the show. Tell us all about the Premier League footballers' hairs that he does, how he's built up his brand, how he becomes where he's booked up for 8 weeks on a trot. He's booked up 8 weeks in advance, and he's got some great stories to tell us. So I'm looking forward to getting Alan on next week. So that should be really good.
Yeah, fantastic visitors on the show, and we always manage to get great guests. And we've got Marc in the house. How are we, Marc? Have you got your audio on, Marc?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
Yeah, we got you. Welcome to the Barbers Arms, Mark. Lovely to have
Cool, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mark, nice to see you, bro.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Thanks.
Mark, we've I know when we've before this particular new crisis, well, I mean it isn't new, but when we had the first lockdown and you went back the first time from lockdown, I know you put a little video out there of how you were coping and how you were working, and I see that is that a backdrop of your shop there behind you?
Sorry, can you repeat it because the connection was not really good? So
Okay.
we started, we started after the lockdown, and you know, it changed a little bit. You know, people were more easy, you know, with the COVID, but it was going up right now a few weeks ago, and you know, we have to go back to more safe. So everyone has to wear a mouth mask. And I installed some system that will be reducing the virus and bacterials for 99.97%. And so we have a very safe space in Amsterdam to work, so well for my employees as for my customers. Yeah. Do you using ionization systems in the UK?
Are we what? Sorry.
Are you using ionization systems as well in the UK?
Ionization.
Yeah, we use all different systems that here as well for you know, sterilizing and sterilization within the shops as well. Just for our viewers, quickly, can you give us a 2-minute bio of who you are and what you are, just so they've got a feel for who you are and where you're based? I know you've said you're in Amsterdam. Can you tell us a little bit about your business?
I'm a barber since I was 15. I'm a 3rd-generation barber from Amsterdam. So my grandpa started in 1934. I had 4 sons, and they were all barber. And my dad took it off from my grandpa. And in 2010, I took it off from my dad. So I'm all life in barbering. And after a while, you know, I went to all the trades and shows. But it was in Holland, it was always just only for women, for hairdressers, and nothing for barbering. So then I thought, you know, we have to do something for the barbers, you know. It's a really nice fashion, really nice craft, and I want to do something for our colleagues, for the barbers. So that's why I set up the BarberSociety in 2013, a community online on Facebook. And in 2015, we started BarberSociety Live. And, you know, it's really nice, you know, that we see each other online, but it's also really nice to see us, you know, real life, you know, having a beer and having some food from food trucks, you know. And so the first one, Simon was there as well, and it was really successful. And this year we should have the fifth one, but yeah, you know, it's a pity because the COVID was coming, and it should be a really big one this year. But you know, we gotta do it next year if there's a possibility.
I was just saying to the viewers before you joined us, I can remember the first one I came to, and you had a brewery or some beers that people were giving and serving, and I had too many that day, and I went out in the sun, and my head got really red, and I kept drinking these beers. And then I came to a restaurant with you and your wife and this Martin Fox, and I think it was the Bomb Squad, and Jeroen from Wahl, Netherlands. Great day though, very relaxed, very just a good networking day. I think you got BarberSociety really cool. You got that little niche.
Yeah. That's correct. You know, it's nice to see, you know, all the brands, all the barbers. and not just only from Holland, but you know, we're getting more international. We have a lot of barbers from all over the world coming to the event, and it's really nice, you know, to talk to each other, and also talking to all of the brands, you know, are in our industry.
Yeah, I mean, when we came over to you, I mean, you do get an international flavour as well. I know you invite a lot of, you know, guys from the UK. I know Chris Foster's done quite a bit for you on your presenting on your stage, and you've almost looked for almost like a niche warehouse look when you put your show on, don't you? So, and it's a really cool venue. You look for cool venues. You know, when you actually went and started to get into shows, you know, obviously it's been successful. You've taken it bigger and bigger every year. What do you think is the future for shows at the moment now then, you know, post-COVID? I mean, I don't know how long it's going to last. You know, we don't know what's going to happen next year, but what do you think is the future for shows generally?
Yeah, the connection was unstable.
All right.
Yeah, but I think the question was, you know, what we're going to do in the future with the BarberSociety. You know, we don't know what to do, you know, with the COVID, if there's some some medicines for it. And I think, you know, next year, I think, you know, everyone is looking forward, you know, to see each other and to going to events again. And yeah, you know, it's our anniversary, the 5th anniversary next year. And I think it's getting more international. I traveled a lot last year globally, you know, to America, to Asia, in Europe. And I've seen a lot of big talent barbers. And, you know, we try to next year.
Mark, just while you're on, Mark, you know, we see each other quite a lot on the circuit. So I think the last time we met up face to face would have been in Turin in Italy in December.
Yeah, that's correct.
When you watched one of our anniversary 100-year show, which was in that big theatre. It's very, very motivational, very, it was very special to be there at that time. And I know you came backstage at the theatre area and stuff. So I know you and your wife as well. So I hope I can hear and hear you. So
yeah,
every time I
share.
Hey,
hi.
I know every time I see you two guys together, but Gary, if you've met some of my artistic team, if you look at Mark, he looks like we're interviewing Carl Blake.
I was just thinking that, yeah, he does look a bit like Blake.
But when you meet Mark in life, he's about 8 foot tall. He's a real tall guy. I mean, I'm a short guy, but he's a real tall guy. It's really good. Mark, a couple of questions. I just want to get in, because you've watched Barbers Arms. We'll try and build up a little bit of a profile about you guys, and so our viewers in the week can get to know a little bit about what's happening in Amsterdam, what's happening about your business, and then we'll finish off with a profile on you individually. But who's been I know you're a family of generations of barbers, but who's been the biggest influence on your career?
Can you repeat the question? We have an unstable connection. I don't know why it is now, but can you repeat the question?
Yeah, Mark,
yeah.
Who's been the biggest influence on your career?
Wat is de grootste influence?
The biggest influence, de meest bekende die...
Nee, wat is de grootste influence? Ja.
I think
op je carrière.
Yeah. You know, I worked my whole life with my dad. Inspiration guy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you're a family business.
Yes.
So outside your family, because I probably guessed that you were going to say your dad, your granddad, your brothers.
Yeah.
Outside the family, who's been the biggest influence on your career?
You know, I'm really respectful to David Ricoli. He was very inspiring me. And, you know, I saw him, you know, I think it was about 25 years ago that and you know, he did really good work, really good work. I love his passion about photography and also the passion about the men's haircutting.
So for viewers who are wondering who David Ricoli is, David was kind of the man behind the invention of American Crew, the photographs behind American Crew. He obviously devised and writ helped us to do our Wahl's men's method. So I think David's work is very distinctive. When you see photography, when you see any men's stuff, I think you can see it's David Ricoli that's kind of be behind that. He's got his own theme and a strength behind that. So yeah, I would agree with that, Gary.
Yeah, do you know what though? I mean, with David, I mean, we stopped American Crew as soon as it started back in 1995. And when you think 1995, it's like, it seems like 5 minutes ago within our careers. But I mean, you know, it's 25 years ago. It's a long time, isn't it? But he did pretty fantastic. There's nothing like, I loved American Crew back then because there was nothing like that for the American market, for the men's market, because they did a whole range. They did the package, they did the education. It was men's work, wasn't it? You know, it was fantastic. And I thought, you know, really inspirational guy because he was the man behind the lens as well. And obviously all of it was his inspiration. I know we had a team, but they started off with, I think it was 6 products and ended up with a range of about 50 something. So you know, I think they were leaders in the men's grooming category at the time.
But if you look back at some of the early work, it's still current now.
Yeah, definitely.
You could still use the photographs now. Marc, what are you drinking while you're in the Barber's Arms? What's your ticket tonight?
I drink, let me see. It's quite difficult for the camera, but there we go. A glass of red wine, a Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir. You know, my favourite red wine, I know Trevor, our producer, and the guy behind British Barbers Association, it was his anniversary this week, and he's been to a winery, and he was telling me that he'd been sampling some of these wines that were really nice. And my favourite wine still, red wine, is going to be Malbec. I just love a Malbec. I think it's just so easy drinking. But it does really fuck me up. I mean, I can't speak after like 4 glasses. That's why I kind of stay away from it when we're doing Barber's Arms. Guys, Marc, if you don't mind, on Barber's Arms, we'd like to have a little shot. So I'm going to have a little shot of my moonshine. We've got some Tough Nut moonshine here, guys. We'll have a little shot.
Do you know what I'm going to have? I'm going with the Dutch. I'm going with the Dutch feeling tonight, and this is Marc. This if I'm saying it right, is it?
I take one as well.
Is it?
Very good. Look at that, guys. Look at the legs on that.
Oh, what's that?
Tough Nut moonshine.
Oh, you're not still on the moonshine.
There it comes.
So yeah, Marc.
Let me see. I take a shot of Mataxa.
Oh, brandy.
Brandy.
Okay. Well, we'll wait for you, then we'll do it in one. This is why
am I saying this right, Marc? This is Jennifer Juniper Gin. Is that a Dutch drink?
Jennifer Juniper? No, I don't think so. Is it? I think it's from Belgium.
Oh, right. I thought it was Dutch. So when you say Dutch courage, how do you say that in Dutch? How do you say cheers in Dutch?
All right, cheers. Proost.
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 There we go.
Gary, did you see what we've started doing, Marc, on Barber's Arms? The producers have started putting little clips of the shows. Did you see the one on the first ever episode that we did? And I was like, that's how used I've got to drinking now, because I'm not with. So yeah. We're going to get you one of these nice Wahl. These have just come out today, Wahl in the community.
Wow, man, looks
hoodies.
really sick.
Yeah,
Send-
well, I'll get one sent
Send them
out to
over to
you.
me.
I'll get one sent over to you. Have you seen Wahl, the Wahl guy, Jeroen?
Yeah, Jeroen, yes.
Yeah, he's
I
a
saw
great
him.
guy.
Nice guy.
Great guy.
Great. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. So, Mark, another question I've got for you. What would you have been?
And how is... yeah, sorry?
Go on, you go. What were you going to say?
Yeah, how's the situation with the COVID in the UK?
Wow.
Look, with different tier system at minute, he's probably too much to go into. It's growing. There's some areas that are worse than other areas. There's some parts of businesses, especially the restaurant. I saw the other night that you were out in a restaurant the last time you'd be out with family and friends.
Yeah.
Similar here, similar kind of setup here. So yeah, it's we're struggling a little bit with it. Mark, just coming on to the next question with you. What would you have been if you wouldn't have been a barber?
That's a really good question. Yes, I think something with and you know, I like also to think creative, something with events.
With what? Sorry.
Yeah, you know, creativity. You know, think in concepts. So I think something with yeah, let's see, advertisement, something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Marketing.
Marketing, yes. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think he should go to be, you know, a detective, you know, from the police, you know, he's always looking for people, and, you know, if there's something happening, Mark is on top of it, you know, also with his camera, you know, is really, he's crazy. So I think that should be a good profession as well.
So really, Mark.
To go. Sorry.
So really, Mark, you want to be Columbo, don't you? You want to be a private detective, don't you?
Detective, I like traveling, so like Inspector Gadget globally.
That's your new nickname now, Gadget.
Gadget.
Every time I see you, go Gadget. Mark, we're getting lots of questions coming in from our viewers in the UK. What's the situation at the minute with the calf bars in Amsterdam? A lot of people who travel to Amsterdam from the UK, they come for a specific reason, the nightlife, the different canal areas, and to go into a cafe bar and relax.
You mean a coffee shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, coffee shop, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really touristy thing, you know. People like it, and people come over to Amsterdam, you know, to smoke some weed or.
How's it now?
Sorry? Oh, how it now is? Now it's really quiet. A lot of coffee bars are closed. There are no tourists, so they don't have to do anything. All the bars are closed.
So generally around Amsterdam, Mark, is confidence quite low, or can you consumer confidence? Is there a lot of public around or not?
Now in Amsterdam, it's like a ghost city.
Okay.
It's really quiet. You know, we live in the city center. We have our barbershop as well in the city center, and I think the same is that in London, if you go to the city center, it's really quiet. You know, all the offices are closed. All the people work at home. All the hotels. There are no tourists. Oh yes, it's a ghost town. Yeah, it's only since 1.5 weeks.
Mm.
So it's not good for business then?
No,
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. I have, I think, about 50% less business at the moment.
Ooh.
Wow. You know, last time I came out to Amsterdam, I stayed in an hotel that used to be an old eye hospital. Is it an hotel now?
Is it an eye hospital hotel?
I don't know. Bij de Eye Museum?
You mean no, in the Adam Tower, or?
It was an old. Yeah, it's really been converted to an hotel, but the rooms were still kind of like hospital room. It was weird. But I remember that night we went out, and Jerome and his partner picked me up on a speedboat.
Yeah.
We went around the canals, and then we parked up outside a restaurant. They fetched the table out, and they fetched the food to the boat. And then after we'd finished, we went back into Gary. Well, what an experience that is! Fantastic.
I bet you thought you were James Bond.
Yeah, I did actually. It was very, very cool to do that. And I would always say to anybody to experience that, if you can get to Amsterdam and actually go out on a boat, drive to a restaurant on your boat, get served the food and have a drink on your boat, and then get back to your. It was amazing. Very good. Very cool.
You know, that's also nice from BarberSociety in Amsterdam. You know, it's a weekend away in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's only the event, but it's also all the things around it. And, you know, it's really nice to see the things in Amsterdam.
My experience at the canals in Amsterdam are we've been so many times for shows and for pleasure. But I went with my brothers, and his idea was to jump the canal, and we all ended up wet. We didn't eat on the canal. We ended up in the canal. So very different experience than the artistic director of Wahl. So. You know, it's different.
I like the eye life, and I do like getting looked after when I'm traveling all over. But I've got to say that was one of the highlights. You know, sometimes you go to different places and you go to nice restaurants, but that was so different that they said, "Look, we'll pick you up on a speedboat." And I'm thinking, okay, it'd be a drive. When you got there, and the actual boat, the table came out, and we got served as food. It was so cool. It's one of the best nights I've had. That it's really, really good.
Yeah.
So, Mark, what's
the city?
What's the plus point?
Even when it's really quiet, it's still a beautiful city.
Oh,
yeah, it's a beautiful city.
I think it's one of the beautifulest. But what I know, there's some downsides to working in the city centre at the moment. But with your business for generations being in the centre of the city. Yeah. What do you like best about working in the centre of the city? What's the plus points for that for you?
You know, it's really nice because it's really we have a big amount of people. You know, different people. It's an internet. A lot of expats, a lot of locals, and you know, it's really nice to have a lot of different people in our shop from different countries. Yeah.
Do you get lots of English guys coming over to you for any training? Does people come over from the UK to do training courses with you guys?
No. A lot of British barbers in Amsterdam. It's amazing.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, but you know, we are still you know, working to our BarberSociety, and you know, I think the next step, you know, there are coming a lot of nice things next year, and you know, the COVID time is really nice to think about, you know, what we can do in the future, and so we take this time to work some new ideas, work it out. Yeah, and we pay also for the.
I think.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we'll put your website up as well for your BarberSociety on the Barbers Arms website. So if anybody wants any more information about what Marc does and what his business does at BarberSociety, you'll be able to put a link up there and you can have a quick look. And so hopefully when things get back to normal next year, and the BarberSociety goes on, it's a great show to travel. Not far from the UK. It's a 45-minute, an hour flight, or it's get on that Hull to Zeebrugge ferry or Hull to Rotterdam ferry. It's overnight, and that's a party boat. And if you can get off there without an hangover, then you've done really well. Mark, how do you rate Dutch barbering to the UK barbering?
Ja, how do you rate? Hoe waardeer je het? Nederland vergeleken met Engeland. De kwaliteit.
You mean the quality compare Holland to the UK barbers?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good question. You know, I always look up to the UK. You know, they're very passionate in barbers, skilled barbering, and yeah, really good. And you know, it was not only just barbering, but also final with all the techniques, you know. So I was always looking to the British hairdressing and barbering skills. You know, the last years in Holland, we see that we have a lot of talented barbers in Holland as well. You know, Scoren, you know, they were really good, you know, to set up the whole barber industry, you know. Was all over the world, and they meant a lot to the Dutch barbers, the Scoren.
Yeah, I think, you know, from my point of view, with Rob and Lane, great guys. I think they really set off a trend in barbering. They made barbering cool 8-9 years ago. They kind of made it cool. And I know that you know, from a point of view, from a marketing point of view, they've gone with a different brand at the moment. But just want to say that there's no substitute for class, Rob and Lane. You sold your souls to the devil. But I know if you ask them deep down which clippers that they prefer to use, I know exactly where the bread would be buttered. But yeah, I think they changed. They made it cool. And I think the Dutch, I said very early at this show, I think yourself with BarberSociety, I think with the Scorum influence, the fantastic hairdressers and barbers that come out of Holland, and the parties that you put on, the after parties at the shows, guys, are unbelievable. The clubs that they put on. The Dutch, for me, I've done Rotterdam, Amsterdam, Apeldoorn. I've done most of the big cities in Holland, and I've never had a bad night. I've just never.
Like bad morning or not?
All fucking mornings are fucked. They're finito for 2 days.
Yeah.
I think as well. I think we've got quite an affinity with the Dutch as well, from from history and everything else. But I think there's a lot of people out there that like traveling to Holland and to the Netherlands, and even football. If everybody else was knocked out, I always supported Holland. You always wanted the Dutch, didn't you? You didn't ever want the Germans to win or whoever. But I think we've got a little affinity with the Dutch as well, and it's such a great place to visit as well. So
that bright orange, you just saw it in the crowd. The bright orange.
Except when we were playing them, obviously, and beat them. So
of course.
Of course.
Who was your favourite football team, Mark? Who was your favourite football team in Holland?
What do you think from Amsterdam?
Ajax.
It's Ajax, of course. Yeah. I'm not really into the football, but if I have to support a football team, it will be Ajax.
Good. Okay, well, we're going to finish off with some quick fire questions for all our viewers this week. Don't forget to share this if you're watching, guys. When we're finished with Mark, we'll come back to our website to show you all about our virtual trade show. Oh, Mark, you're going to join us on our trade show at the end of November.
Yeah, it's an online trade show.
Yeah, look, sounds great.
Yeah.
Got some great stands there, some great education. If you watch Barbers Arms, you know what's going to come up to you now. We're going to build a little profile about Marc van der Haar. So, what is your favourite food?
My favorite food is Italian food.
Barring in Turin, which wasn't nice. Too many kebabs. What's your favourite drink?
My favorite drink, red wine.
What's your
Red-
favourite destination?
Right.
Where's the best place that you travel to? What's your favourite destination?
New Zealand was the most beautiful country. From the cities, I like Hong Kong.
Oh, I like Hong Kong as well, yeah. Hong Kong's the business.
Yes.
You been, guys, to Hong Kong?
Not at the moment.
Ah, damn, it's really great. You know, it goes on for 24/7.
Yeah.
You love the
You
place.
think?
A few years ago, it was fantastic. I'm not sure if it's the same now.
Well, yeah, it's probably changed a bit, but I've got to say, Hong Kong's like a den of iniquity. What shouldn't
The situation is not really good.
shouldn't happen? What's been banned? What you shouldn't do happens in Hong Kong. Who's your ideal dinner date?
How does it call the guy from the UK? Simon Saul? No, no, my lovely wife. That's my dinner date.
Funny. What's your favourite music?
She's sitting next to me, so I have to tell that.
What's on your iTunes? What's your favourite music? What's your go-to?
Dire Straits. I love it.
Dire Straits, yes. Like it. Okay, Marc, it's been great having you on Barbers Arms. Here we go. We've got Marc van der Haar from Van der Haar in Amsterdam and the creator of BarberSociety. He's sat in his favourite Italian restaurant eating his favourite Italian food. He supports Ajax because he's from Amsterdam, one of the biggest football clubs in the world. He's having a nice drink of red wine. He's sat in New Zealand as well, or Hong Kong, one of his favourite destinations. His ideal dinner date, it would be me or his wife, but probably going to pick his wife to be sat there in Hong Kong, having his red wine with his Italian. And he's listening to Dire Straits. Marc van der Haar, it's been a pleasure to have you on Barbers Arms. All the best to you and your family in Amsterdam. All our friends out in Amsterdam as well. God bless to you all. Thank you for coming on Barbers Arms.
Thank you very much for the interview, and I hope to see you soon, real life, guys.
Same to you, bro. God bless you. I'll keep in touch.
Good.
Fantastic, Marc. Love to your lovely wife. See you later, mate.
Thank you, man. Cheers.
It's good, yeah. I like it Dutch because I speak a Dutch as well sometimes when I'm working, and it's not fucking really Dutch, to be fair, is it? Can you remember the Harry Enfield sketch? And the two coppers are in the car. Yeah, it's good, yeah. Yeah, good pick, boy.
Listen to this. I mean, lovely fella, and I think we had a little bit of a poor connection there, didn't we? Really, it wasn't the connection. But I mean, I've been over and watched football on the continent a lot and met a lot of Dutch. Wherever you go, there's always a Dutchman somewhere, isn't there? When you go watch football, right?
100%.
Went over to Spain. Was with my dad. We got a house in Spain, so we went over and we went to a bar. Met a Dutch fella, getting on really, really well. He said, "Right, we're going to hit the bars now." This is a true story. And my dad says to me, I was with my dad, and we got over to sign for a house. We were going over there, and it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I got a bit of a taste for it. Met these fellas in the bar, and I said, right, we're going for another pint, Dad, like. And he goes, oh no. He says, we've got to be on the flight at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. You'll never be up. I goes, don't be ridiculous. I said, dude, of course I'll be there. And he says, no. And he stood there with his arms folded like that, watching me. He says, no, I'll wait for you. He didn't want another drink, but he says, I'll wait for you. You know what I mean? Like one of them moments when your dad doesn't trust you, when you realise your dad. And this Dutch fella turns to me and he goes, you have to go bed with your father? Because my dad wanted to take me bed. He said, no, you're coming. I said, no, I've got an early flight. He goes, and he just walked off in disgust and said, you have to go to bed with your father? And I was like, my street cred just went out the window straight away. And I thought,
let's have a quick shot then. We're ready?
Yeah. What we getting have this
I'm on my moonshine. I've got the bit of tough nut. It's like a bit having a dessert. I met Alex, my son, early this afternoon. In between calls and bits and pieces, we had a sandwich together and a coffee together. Well, we had a pot of tea each, and it was lovely. And I've had nothing to eat, so we'll have a shot. Since that, I can't have a drink and eat. Just to let everybody know as well, we've had lots of viewers writing in from last week. Do apologise for Gary's language last week. It's out of character. I don't know what he's going through. He's been a bit worried this week with his major operation that he's just had in hospital, which I'm sure he'll share with us all in a short while. But yeah, so you just watch, like, your dad will be really disappointed in you as well, you swearing. They expect it from me because I'm a lowlife, but from you, sitting in all these councils and all this bollocks that you do, sitting down congratulating each other on being masters at universe, you shouldn't be swearing. So yeah, I spoke to Bill in week as well. Bill's all in good health. He loved it on the show. He spoke to us this week and said, you know, keep up the good work. It's very, very good. So yeah, it's been nice to keep in touch. So Gaz, do you know what? I get lots of people say, where did Gary learn to do all those cocktails? Because you're getting a big following, you know, for your cocktails. You're inspiring people to actually mix. And it's not just the way that the drink. It's how you mix them. It's how you know all the ingredients, but you get the right glass about it. There's people make money from this. And I think there's one guy over lockdown as well that were doing these, like, he got a riding bike, he used to go out with us, like a bit like a Deliveroo guy, but he was going out doing cocktails. So, look, if that happens in your area, I think you've got a sideline there with a push bike to go out. But what's your cocktail this week?
All I can say is it cost me a bleeding fortune in ingredients because I use them once and then they put in the back of the cupboard and never use them again. So I'll just let you into it. So tonight, Simon, we are doing Dutch Courage, which is in honour of our Dutch. And then I find out that he tells me that the gin I'm using isn't Dutch, it's Belgian. But I have done my research and I think it is made, I think you'll find it's made in Holland anyway. Anyway, so we've got our...
while I go to the toilet.
Just don't leave your mic on. So we've got our shaker as usual. So a little bit of ice in there. And everybody out there, if you're going to shake it in if you're going to put your ingredients in the shaker, really it should be crushed or it should be smaller pieces. But I've just got some here straight out the freezer. So there we have it. There's our shaker. So what we're going to use tonight is we're going to use 30 ml of gin, this is Geneva gin or Geneva gin, juniper gin. This is where it came from. Apparently, it was. I think there's a few regions in, you know, before all the borders were actually bought out. France, Belgium, Germany, Dutch, Holland. So there we have it. We tip that in there. Then we've got about 25 ml of freshly squeezed lime juice, and you're gonna like this. Advocaat, Warnings Advocaat. So we're gonna have about 30 ml of Warnings Advocaat. When I went and bought this today, the woman said behind the bar, she says, "Oh, I can tell it's nearly Christmas. Everybody's buying this for the nan." And I'm like, "Are you having a laugh? I'm making a cocktail." And then we've got some really, really great quality apple juice. So we throw that in as well. So it's all in the shaker. Shake this up. And when we do this, I don't know if anybody knows, but Dutch Courage is when we were fighting the wars over in what is Europe now. Apparently the Dutch, or the tribes that we were fighting against at the time, used to drink gallons of this stuff and it used to give them courage to go into battle. So that's why we get the saying Dutch Courage. So we have a Collins glass, some more ice, larger pieces of ice this time now. So we pour it over ice. And I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when you go into a cocktail bar, they always fill the glass with ice, don't they? Why do you think they do that? So they looks like you're having an enormous drink, but really they can charge you an absolute fortune for. So when we do this, just taking a couple of slices of lemon here as well, just as we're going to just pop them in, and then we're going to dry. So we've got our ice now, complete our Collins glass full of ice with our lemon in there, and we're going to tip this over. If you can see this, so we're just tipping this. So we're straining. I don't have to use a strainer because I've already got a strainer in the top of my. Look at that, baby. And this really, I mean, I've tried this one earlier because I do have to test everything. Look how much ice we've got. Because what you need to do, the whole point of shaking it with ice is to make, not to make the ice melt, it's to just cool the ingredients. And then you tip it over ice so it's extra cold. So there you have it, Dutch courage with your little slice of lemon to complement it. And it's a take, I think it's more like a lemonade, English lemonade kind of drink, really. It isn't particularly strong, but it's really refreshing. And cheers, Simon.
Cheers, mate. All the best to you. 27 episodes. Wow. I'm speaking to Alan week about next week's show and that, and he was saying, you know, it's been a kind of breath of fresh air, and, you know, there's some people you've not even spoke to about it. You just take it for granted that they're watching, but they do mention it, that it's been great, even when we're on proper lockdown and we've come out of it, they're tuning in the week. So we know that people watch us in the week, and we thank everybody that keep watching us. And don't forget to share it as well, guys. Just before we move on to our local heroes, don't forget, on the 29th and the 30th of November, we have our first virtual trade show.
Can I pass over as well? Rachel always comes down and drinks the second half of the drink, so I'm just passing the, and it's absolutely beautiful, that drink, actually.
Well, she deserves it because she gets it all ready for you.
No,
So don't forget, you can still register. We've had 450 people register so far. It's on the 29th and the 30th of November. We've got some great stands going to be there, not only with some great products, but also some great education as well. I said to Gaz earlier, I had a look around the virtual exhibition trade show this morning on a meeting with Wahl, and it looks fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to that, Gaz. A few weeks coming up to that, and it's really exciting that we've got this coming up. So lots of nice stuff coming up. Next week, guests, we've got Alan Beak joining us on Barbers Arms, so don't forget to tune in for that as well. That's all coming up as well. Instagram, don't forget to follow us on Gaz at the British Barber, Simon Shaw Wahl, and Barbers _arms for his Instagram, and then our website for all the virtual exhibitions, the podcasts, the past episodes, and also the highlights, the clips. The producers are working on different clips now that are there, so don't forget to follow us on the barbersarms.co.uk, and you can click in and look at all the views and the little highlights, the little outtakes that have come over the last 27 episodes. I love looking at them, Gads.
It's quite funny. I mean, I watched a couple of them this morning. Rachel said, "Oh, you got to watch this one," and they're quite a bit cringe-worthy, some of them, but they're quite funny, really funny. But yeah, they're good. Next week, hopefully, we're going to have, as you said, we're going to have Gary on from Belfast, Hollywood in Belfast. He's got a barbershop over there. I know he's been struggling with getting staff back into work anyway, and now he's been hit with this second lockdown for 4 weeks, so it's going to be really, really tough. So hopefully we're going to have Gary's take on that as well. I haven't spoke to him yet. I tried to get in contact with him before we went on air tonight because he finished at 6 o'clock tonight. So with a bit of luck, we're going to have him. And with a bit of luck as well, we're going to have Keith Coniford on us from the Hair Council. Just give us because you know what? I know we've got Kate on in a minute, but from a professional point of view, and I just wanted to bring this up, is just because we are close contact industry doesn't mean that we ought to be locked down. You know, you know, everybody's going banging on and saying about why we're getting locked down, why people are. We're towing the line as an industry. We are doing what we are supposed to be doing.
I agree.
And we've, you know, I don't think we should be lumped in with bars and restaurants and gatherings and everything else, because I'd like to see the evidence that takes, you know, the spread of COVID through a barbershop or hairdressing salon, because we are doing everything. We've got masks, visors, we clean everything down in between. There's, you know, even though it is close contact, we take every single possible precaution. We're in control of our environment. And you know, what I would like to say is, and people out there who think it's not happening or it isn't happening or it's a conspiracy theory or whatever, just have a word with some, as you said, I've been in hospital this week, nothing serious, but you speak to hospital staff out there and they are not, it's not made up, it's ridiculous. So, and from our point of view, what I'd just like to say is, you know, from government, I'd like to know where the numbers come from, where it's actually, where they can actually justify shutting our industry down when we do go into very high risk, because, you know, from our point of view, we had a training standards visit. We had one yesterday and one today, different locations, and they give us a completely clean bill of health. And in fact, give us a glowing report saying, you know, it's one of the best in the area in Staffordshire. So, you know, if we're ticking all the boxes and we're not passing the COVID virus on, or we're not spreading it, or whatever we're doing, why should we suffer? Why should we be closed down? And I think that's a big thing on the agenda. And I'm going to speak to Keith over this. Hopefully we're going to lobby government on this as well, because I don't think it should be a blanket ban on everything just because we're close contact. Or it's all these idiots who are having illegal gatherings. I mean, did you see Liverpool the other night when they said they were shutting the pubs? I mean, I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I feel for the people in the area, and if it's happened to us, you know, God forbid, but, you know, we've got to toe the line. It's ridiculous. Where's it end? You know, so.
I agree. Look, it's touchy for everybody. It's a crap time still. You know, I think looking at it, if I'm really realistic about it, especially from what I do as well, we're going to be looking at March, April next year before we even start evening out. And I'm sure that, you know, we've got scientists everywhere that are going to come up with the vaccinations and all the testing and the antibody stuff. But we need to really get onto it, because it's really getting to a point where we thought that we were getting back to normal from the 4th of July, and then we've done that, and then it's come back in. We've gone back into pubs. Then they did the help out to eat out, and then it's gone back to where we're going down to locking down into areas, and you know, it's kind of like a bit confusing. So we need some clarity. We need to get it sorted out. It is here. It's around us. I feel so sorry for people who have suffered with it. But also as well, do you know what? We stopped doing the NHS clapping on a Thursday night, but there still are our soldiers out there still doing it as well. Like you've just said, you've been in hospital, it's there, it's all around us, you know, so big up to the NHS as always. You know, they've still done a fantastic job. Local heroes, here we go. We've got our local hero in the house, which is Kate McQuillan from Divit Barbers in Inverkeithing, which is near Dunfermline.
Hiya, how are you?
Yeah, we're good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Are you still at work?
We're at work because I got told to be at work.
Good.
How are you, Kate? Are you okay, Kate?
Hiya.
So who's this with you? Is this one of your colleagues?
This is Julie. She's my manager. She manages the shop.
Fantastic.
Because Monday to Friday I work in a prison teaching prisoners.
Nice.
Oh, so you're in education as well then?
Yeah. But she's quite satisfying.
Is it still quite a big uptake for prisoners to do barbering? Is it still taking a big uptake in that? Because we're always very popular the last 2 or 3 years, but I've not really visited it these last 12 months. So is it still a big uptake in prisons to do barbering?
We're the only one in Scotland. I'm at Edinburgh, or you might have heard it as Stockton. We're the only one in the whole of the Scottish prison service that is delivering the real qualification. We're delivering Sitting Guilds diploma right up to level 3 in barbering. And we do have quite a good uptake in them getting jobs. So
blinking at Kate, they're with you a long time then, if they're doing up to level 3.
Oh yeah, they're with me a while. And some of them I even put them through the Hairdresser award as well.
Okay.
So whereabouts in Inverkeithing are you?
It's on Church Street, just off the High Street. We're near the train station.
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah, sometimes caught the train up there from instead of getting off at Edinburgh. I've got a friend that lives in Dunfermline, so he'll pick me up from that train station. Colin Walton.
Right. Well, where that train station is, if you look up the way, there's a big church with a great big steeple with a clock. I'm right opposite.
Okay. Can we have a look round your shop?
Of course you can. You do it.
Wait a wee second until I turn you around.
Turn it the other way.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's it. Yeah, better. Reception.
Okay.
Nice photograph wall. Is that a pumpkin?
Yep.
Halloween's coming.
We're a
Another
big
one.
fan of Halloween in here.
Nice. Can we have a look at one of your styling units? Can you go across to one of your styling units?
Yep.
You know what the next question's going to be, don't you, Kate?
What?
Simon, you're not going to disappoint, are you?
No, what's your favourite wall clipper?
My favourite wall clipper is the cordless, the tapers, the white one.
Super tapers.
Oh, what do you call them again? You know, the normal white ones.
Yeah, super tapers, yeah.
Yeah, I use them as cordless.
Yeah, nice.
And I've got my wall. Oh no, it's no Andis foils. Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I'm a big fan of wall.
Good. I like to hear that.
So, girls, where would you be now if you weren't showing us, in your round your salon and into your drawers? Where would you be now if you weren't here?
I'd be sitting in my job.
Okay. So, are you having a drink tonight? What are you drinking?
Teetotal.
Teetotal. Oh, you'd not go down well with me and Simon then. You won't be coming out on a night out with me and Simon then.
Listen, I don't need drink to be daft. I dance on the bar sober.
That's not like Simon. He needs a good drink.
I like dancing, but I don't know about dancing on the bars. That'd be a big fucking bar.
I've seen him sing a lot without a drink. He likes singing.
So what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? Tonight I've had some Amigos, some Tough Nut Moonshine, and I'm just having some Red Stripe Caribbean Lager.
So where are you?
This is Moonshine. This is a special off Jackie, one of our producers.
Okay. Nice. Because I thought that law was in you can't drink after 6 o'clock. Can't buy it.
Oh yeah, you've got that 6 o'clock rule up there, so that means that you can't go into bars and restaurants after 6.
That's right. You not got that?
Yeah, well, we've seen the news, but can you, we still eat in those places, or are they closed down after 6?
No, that's it. 6 o'clock it's shut. Totally closed.
Right. And what about in supermarkets and off license? Can you still buy alcohol after 6, or has that finished as well?
Oh yeah, you can.
You can.
You can.
Good job, guys, because we like a drink up in Scotland.
Oh, I know. We know a lot of Scottish. We forget about this. How long have you had those restrictions in now, Kate?
That has just been 1 week. A week ago today.
Because we've focused on Northern Ireland because they've lost everything at 6 o'clock tonight for 4 weeks. But I mean, Scotland have been under heavy restrictions for a week now. So how's that affected trade? How's it affected your business at the moment?
We're not too bad, to be honest, because the pub can open during the day, and we're in the middle of the pub. The world still quite a lot of foot traffic. We did a charity event last Saturday, and it was World Mental Health Day. So Haley and I did 10 hours of free haircuts. We just wanted donations, and we were quite concerned because that was the first day of all these restrictions. So we didn't have people in pubs and we didn't have people passing by, but we still raised £850.
Well done.
That's fantastic.
Good. Thank you.
Congratulations. And do you guys, are you in contact with Ray Simmons up in Scotland? He seems to know everything that's happening with the government up there, and seems to be the talking point for you guys. Do you speak to Raymond and find out what's happening?
I don't know who he is. That means
oh God.
Well, he's not too far from you, Raymond. I don't think, is he? He's Raymond Simmons. He runs the Scottish Hair Council, is he, or something? Barber Council.
Oh, right.
No?
I know that, but I don't know him.
Oh, anyway.
Message to Raymond. Raymond, you need to get in touch with these guys at Divit Barbers to let them know who you are, and see if Ray can help you out, because he seems to be he's got his finger on the pulse.
Good.
Just to see what's happening up in Scotland. So if you speak to Ray, I'm sure he can help you out with any guidelines and stuff like that, especially working in prison. Have you got any funny stories that's happened in prison? Have you got all that's like sticks out in your mind that's a funny story?
It's not a funny place.
No, fair play. I'm just asking for a friend, that's all.
Not really.
No worries. Well, listen, Kate, it's been great for you to join us on Barbers Arms. You know, we always love to have our local heroes up. Every week we try to get a local hero up. Keep watching Barbers Arms. It's amazing what you've done for mental health, raising all that money with you and your manager. I think working in the prison service, I know you get paid to do it, but it still takes an acquired taste to go in there. I've done a few things. I used to do it with Maurice Lister, guys, years ago. I used to go into prisons with Maurice Lister. You'd be all buoyant about doing it, but then when you're going through it and every gate, every lock's going behind, you're thinking, okay, now I was getting claustrophobic. So to do what you've done, Kate,
one of my guys last year, one of my prisoners, won Student of the Year with the British Barber Association, came first for the beard styling. And I thought that was massive. That was amazing.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Ian. His name was Ian. He came first for the beard. That
was the photographic competition, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because
I asked if we could enter as a prison, and they said, yeah, why not? Never in a million years did we think we'd get a first prize. It was quite rewarding for him and me.
Yeah, definitely.
We brought in a professional photographer and everything, because I can't do that sort of thing.
Fantastic.
Sometimes on the TV.
Sorry?
Well done, Kate. Well done to you and your team. Well done. Congratulations for what you're doing in the prison service, charity work. I'm sure next time I'm up in Inverkeithen, I'll pop in and see you all. I will do. God bless you all. Stay safe in Scotland.
Bye. See you later.
Thanks for joining us on Barbers Arms.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Rayo.
Sorry?
Rayo. Come on, Raymond. Bloody hell, I'm singing your praises here for you. Getting you out in the community. I'm going to send Ray one of these tops so he can go out, and we're going to have Raymond across the back. So Raymond in the community, and we can get him out there. I'm sure Raymond will be sending me messages tonight, but you need to get in touch with these guys down at Divit Barbers in Inverkeithen, because I watched Ray's videos and stuff, and he is trying his best to keep the Scottish barbers and the Scottish hairdressers in touch with what's happening with like men's hairdressing, facial services and stuff like that. So fair play to you, Ray. Keep doing your good work, mate, but make sure that everybody knows you. Guys, in international field tonight, we've had people in there from Amsterdam. Good, yeah, enough for two. And then we've had the girls up in Scotland, our local heroes this week. I think it's very important, that part of our show, which is going out everywhere. We've seen, yeah, look at him. He's on it. Anaesthetic. Has the anaesthetic wore off yet?
Yeah, it's all right, Steve. I'm just topping it up now. It's going to be a big night tonight.
I don't think so.
No, it is. The drugs have just worn off, so I've got to drink a lot tonight.
Good. We'll not go into Gaz's minor operation this week, but if you can guess, he's not going to have a big night tonight. Anyway, Gary, talking about everything that's happening in the world of hairdressing and barbering, I think, as we're coming towards the end of the show, it's always important for us to give our views on stuff that's happening. And, I get lots of messages through the week saying, what's your take on this one? I ain't no specialist, and neither is Boris, and neither is Nicola Sturgeon. They've never gone through it before. So, yeah, they're going to make mistakes. Yeah, they sound like dicks sometimes, but give them a bit of breather, because they've never gone through it before. So whatever they're going to make, some people are going to like it, some people aren't. I think you've said it tonight, Gary. We'll have a better fight on his hands this time about when we ask to be locked down. There'll be a bigger argument to why we should stay open in terms of how things are affected, or are we passing it on, or people coming in for haircuts and stuff. I think the barbering industry and the hairdressing industry has done really well. You said something on I think it was on our interview on Barber Evo on Monday afternoon. We've done really well. The industry's done really well, and I think what we have to do is we have to make sure that we stay strong, and we've still got to do the right things. And I think whenever we do that, then we can hold our heads up high and keep monitoring everything that everybody's doing in barbershops and hairdressing shops. There is a few wankers out there that break the rules, but generally we've done really well. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we spent. I wasn't actually in. We had, like I said, we had a trading standards visit yesterday at the primary location for where I work, and then today at another location that we run, and they were just full of praise. I mean, I'll give you a rundown of what they actually asked. They came in, walked through the door. Can I speak to the person in charge? Blah, 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 blah. Right, explain to me what you do when your client enters the premises. And you had to give them a rundown of how you offered the service, what you did with the service. So everything was one use. So gowns, neck tape, everything was washed down after the client. You took all their details. If they weren't pre-arranged, so we have a book, a COVID book as well, that we take details as well. You have to have a risk assessment. It's updated every 2 weeks. They have access to that. You have your QR code. You have all your sanitizing, all your sterilization, what you use for sanitizing, what you use for sterilization, how you get rid of your tools. I mean, they went through it. It was quite comprehensive, and we passed with flying colours. Now, for us, that is something that I will shout from the hilltops, because you can tell your clients, or even show your clients, that you are great at what you do. So there's no better. I mean, there's been certain businesses in the area that have been pulled up. It's a 3-strike rule. You have a fine, then you get closed down eventually. But I think from an industry point of view, I think it's been great, because it shows we are professional. We should be proud of what we do as well. I don't know how we can manage this in our own homes and visiting at home and everything else. That's another question. I don't know. But I think from an industry point of view, we should be really proud of what we've done, what we've achieved. And we shouldn't just roll over and take it what the government says about close contact services. We should not. We aren't in the same league as a pub or a restaurant. They're not in control. Once people have a few pints, we talked about this on Monday. Once you've had a few pints, it all kind of goes out the window. You take your mask off. You don't. You're
shaking hands with each other. You're cuddling.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We're bad enough at our age. Can you imagine being 20-something with a raging hard on? You know what I mean? On a Friday night.
I can't imagine you at minute with that, but yeah. I can't.
You know what I mean. So it's very hard for young people to be locked down. Since March, it's 6 months. It looks like it's going to be another 6 months. It's really, really hard.
So Gaz, remember the question that Andrew said to me on Monday? He said, what advice would you give to barbers for extra opportunities? So look, we've all spoke about this. It's going to be quieter. There's no Christmas parties. There's no awards ceremonies. There's no weddings. The opportunities for people's going out, people's doing this, people's doing that, that's gone. So it's just about people keeping smart. And we know through lockdown, people were like having the beers lined up by barbers, having their hairs cut. And it's like, fucking, you're not going out anywhere. So we do know people want to keep smart. We know how many clippers that we sold through our website, that people wanted to keep trim and looking good. We know in this next quarter, there's none of that. So I was asked the question, if you remember, by Andrew, what advice would you give to barbers and hairdressers to help them out? And I said, one of the biggest things, and it's the biggest thing in the world, and I've said it for years, so COVID's no exception to this. You're getting less people through your door, so you've got to take more money off the people that are coming through. Gary, you said it, you Saturdays sometimes are a bit like a Tuesday. So you've got a bit more time with your customer. And in that period of time, and I think there's a great opportunity at the minute to learn education on colouring men's hair. There's not a lot of colouring happening in men's barbershops. And because, looking at you tell me sometimes in a busy week, you've 800-900 people going through your doors. So you haven't got time to the colours. It's bang, 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 quality, cuts, shaves. But to put a colour in that mix, it'll be like, oh, it'll fuck this system up. But at the minute, we've got time to do that. So I think take the time, barbers and hairdressers, to brush up more on your colour skills, especially barbers. Getting to know a little bit more about beard colouring, temporary colouring, semi-permanent colouring. Just take a touch away from that grey. If somebody's got a bit of a blonde colour through and it's a bit coppery, to learn how to put a bit of an ash tone through the hair. So there's opportunities there to add colour to your business. But one of the biggest opportunities that barbers have never tapped into is retail. And I'm not just saying it from our point of view. We've just launched a barber retail range where, you can buy, so barbers will be available in all wholesalers, but you can buy shavers to retail to your customers. You can buy nose and ears trimmers and little nail clippers. It's a new range that we've fetched out that's going to be launched this week. That's a massive opportunity. But I've always said as well, to sell hair dryers and straighteners, we think, well, we're not going to sell straighteners to us guys because we're not really using those styles. it's not about what styles you're doing on your guys. It's about them buying products for their partners for Christmas boxes. We're coming into the fourth quarter. So there is still opportunities out there. It's not so negative. You've got to keep positive. So with every kind of bad period, forget COVID at the minute, with every kind of recession or a poor area, there's always opportunities. And for me, retail is a massive opportunity. We're going to have to really try as well, because there's so many people used to buy now off Amazon. I look at my mum and people who never bought, but over the last 6 months, they've got used to like, oh, I click a button and I've got Amazon Prime, and it arrived on Sunday afternoon. I only ordered it Saturday morning.
Do you know what, as well? You've got to be careful as well, because, I mean, we always stick to brands that obviously they can't buy, hopefully on Amazon or whatever, but there's very few now, you know. When we used to buy brands at one time, I mean, years and years ago when we came into the trade, and you would be the same. It was Black and White and, you know, Dax Wax and Sweet Georgia, you know, that kind of, good God, you can buy Boots and everywhere else. They can buy that cheaper now than we can sell it. You know what I mean? So it's ridiculous. But what I will say is, you know, you've got to be careful. You've got to, it's all about customer service. It's about giving them that. This is how much you use. This is how you use it. This is how you apply it. They can't get that off Amazon. You know what I mean? Yeah. They have to use the product. How much to use the product. How often to use the product. How they get the product out. You know, this is where you are the professional. You need to show them and give those people, you know, your guests, that after service advice, how often they use it, how often they can come in and have the service again. It's been the authority in men's grooming, isn't it? And that's what you've got to be. That's what you've got to push for your clients, because we've done this for so long and it comes so natural. And, you know, I'm not just pushing us at the moment, but that's why our guys get distinctions. All the guys that come through our training get distinction, because they can talk the talk as well as doing the cut. But, you know,
Gary, do you ever go to your doctors and then he gives you a prescription? Do you ever get that prescription, that green slip? And do you ever not go to the chemist and think, do you know what, I'm going to have a look round, I want to find my own medicine? Do you ever do that? Or do you get the prescription?
Yeah.
So when we tell people by using this shampoo, it'll thicken your hair, it'll get rid of your dandruff, it'll get rid of your dry scalp. This clay I'm going to use is going to make your hair look thicker. If you go to a consumer, or if you buy off on an e-commerce site, there is no information. If you go into a supermarket and ask somebody, they've just stacked tea bags. Now they're stacking shampoos on the shelf. They ain't got a clue. So don't forget the power of our profession. Don't forget the power of our ability, you know, to know the products inside out, what's good for your hair. And trust me, guys out there, every single gent that comes into your shop, if he's in every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, in between his visit, he'll wash his hair every day. He'll style his hair every day. So if he's not buying it from you, he's buying it from somebody else. So pull your socks up, stop feeling sorry for ourselves. Let's make sure we take this as a massive opportunity to improve. And, you know, you might be some staff down, some people might have left, but you've got an opportunity with retail to help to bolster your takings, but also to build a real, I think you said it there, Gaz, about, it's not about taking crap products in as well. It's about finding a nice range of products. You know, I look at you know the BBA moisturizer, the Dragon Blood. I use that every day, and that's because the training that you give at Wahl. And I've always bought Clarins or Clint. I love Clarins moisturizers. But when I got that, I tell you what, it's just got that slight little tanning into it as well, so it doesn't like leave any marks, but it feels fantastic on your skin. Gives you that nice little glow to it. You've educated it well to us. Sold.
I know.
Sold. No, and not just once. Every time I buy one, I buy another one, and I buy another one. Sold. Education.
And you know what though? That's the thing with most guys as well. They are very, they're very loyal, but they're also quite, you know, I'll take one. They're almost embarrassed to buy it. They go, yeah, I'll take one of them with me. You know, as if they're hiding it or something, but and once they've got it, you cannot take it off, and they'll love it as well. But
I think
what I will say about products and different things as well. You know, when we were talking about Wahl, when you send in for service and exchange, it is back. I've found. I've just had 12 clippers back, detailers. They've all come back. Ordered them Saturday, sent them. They arrived Monday as well, and they had 10 new dryers as well. And the dryers are fantastic. I ordered 10 for the academy, and they're actually fantastic, mate, as well. So
yeah, big up to Marc Gould, our service and technical manager down at Wahl. He does a great job. He's got a great team in there, guys. If you've, because obviously there's a shortage of clippers everywhere. Sometimes you're struggling to buy them at the minute. More barbershops and wholesalers are going to. We ain't got any clippers. You know, it's tight. We're doing everything we can. We're doing the best we can. But still, remember, there's a service exchange there where you can send your clippers in, get them serviced, and they come back like new anyway. So it's a great service in there as well. Gary, I think, you know, as we're finishing off tonight's show, I think there's a little bit of worry out there. Naturally, we're all a little bit worried. It's all about staying safe. It's all about doing the right thing still. I think, you know, we've got a couple of weeks. I think the next 2 weeks are very vital for this next fourth quarter. I think we do what we've got to be done. We've got to make sure we're not mixing. Do you know what? I love going out for a beer with lads. But under the new rules up in Yorkshire as well, if you go into a boozer and if not from your household, you've got to sit at separate tables. So for me, I ain't really going in. If I go out once or twice a week, I ain't doing it a minute. I'll just wait. Let's just get it safe again. Let's get it back to an even keel. And let's, you know.
Do you know what?
Move forward.
I was talking to some people. I'm right on the border. I'm right on the border of Staffordshire and South Cheshire. We've got salons in Staffordshire Mall in Staffordshire and East Cheshire. And East Cheshire are on I think they're on high. We're on medium. Manchester, which is 20 minutes away, is on very high, on the verge of. And I think people have just got to remember, it's all about what we do. It's simple as that. It's all about what we do.
Exactly.
You know, these people that are having illegal gatherings and being arseholes, what do you expect? I mean, you've got what you've got to talk. I mean, we talk to our clients about this, and you know, from a client point of view, what are you doing tonight? I'm going to Preston for a piss up or you know, an illegal rave or whatever it is, and I'm like, are you for real? You know, I mean, you've literally, we've got to be responsible for our own. You've got to be responsible for future and the people around us. But let's try and finish on a positive. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to share Barbers Arms with everybody. We're going to be creeping back up to those 100,000 views, I'm sure, this week. We've got Alan Beak from Ruger Barbers in the house next week. A massive following on social media. He's the king of the new breed of barbers. His clientele is a massive Premier League superstars, including Sergio Aguero. Alan's going to be joining us next week in Barbers Arms. Throughout the week, don't forget to look at our website, which is thebarbersarms.co.uk. You can find out about our virtual exhibition. You can watch me and Gaz back on episode 27. Any of the upper episodes that you've missed as podcasts. You can see the highlights of some of the shows as well. So don't forget to watch all of those on the website. Gary, it's been a pleasure again on our 27th episode to be with you, having a beer. Look forward to Friday nights. And I'm looking forward to next week. Wow. Can we just finish on a little tip? Do you know what I've just cracked? Black Sambuca. Oh, Mini Guinness it's called, is it? Have you had one of those Mini Guinness? Black Sambuca with some kind of cream on top? No, it's a full-blown. A client bought me this. It's a full-blown Sambuca with licorice flavour. It's beautiful. It is nice. I'm just gonna drop one of them in. and this is the first of many, I think.
As you do.
Everybody out there, thank you very much for watching. As usual, we love you all. Thank you very much. Be good to each other. Be safe, be good, and just watch what you're doing. Love you, baby.
Good luck to everybody. Have a nice weekend. Hope everything has an happy outcome next week. Stay safe, and we'll see you all on Barbers Arms next week with Alan Beak. God bless to you all. Have a great weekend. Adios, amigos.